Good evening, I'm Jim Clarke, and thank you very much for coming out to listen to us. My button says, I love Culver City, and like you, I do love this city. I love the small town Culver City that was here when I moved into Raintree in 1977, and I love the vibrant downtown Culver City we have today. And I love what Culver City may become if we're able to realize our dreams and our visions. You know, we've been all at this since December. There are 6 of us running for 4 positions, and I got to tell you, it's a bit exciting and a bit nerve-wracking with what we're going through here. But somewhere amidst all the hoopla about the campaign, the speeches, the walking, the forums, it struck me that I'm running for something more than just student body president. I did that in high school, and by the way, I won that election. No, this is more serious. As I'm asking you to entrust me to make decisions that are going to impact your quality of life and your future. Those decisions could affect how quickly the paramedics respond, or whether the firefighters are able to get here in time to fight a wildfire in your backyard, how safe you feel in your neighborhood with the frequency of police patrols, or it could be even the just daily inconveniences of things like bad streets and parking and traffic. And somebody please answer that. Or also park maintenance, or whether we even have cultural activities. I realize this isn't entirely on my shoulders. It's shared with Councilman Cooper and 3 of these other candidates. But it is an awesome responsibility, and one that I have great seriousness and resolve. My first and last duty to you is to support the desires of you, our residents. My motto is listening to your concerns, responding to your needs. It's not just a slogan. It's a commitment to you that I promise that I will do, and to include you in the important decisions. Thank you for your consideration, and I hope to earn your vote. We only have 1 minute, and I know Andy, this is Andy, I'll give him credit for it, but he talks about the fact that 80% of our budget is tied up in payroll, and 60% of that is in the police and fire services. So we're talking about half the budget being tied up in the public safety services. In order to close this budget deficit that we have, 1, we have to look at new revenues. That's what I do for the City of Los Angeles. My job is to go out and find federal, state, and foundation grants and try to bring more money into the city. I also think we need to make it easier for business because, as was mentioned, the fact is that it's the business taxes that support our budget and our revenue. So we got to help our businesses to do a better job. And the last thing that we need to do is what I will get to later, is to create this larger vision about making us the center of the creative media and really going out and marketing us to be a place where we can bring new businesses with new media into Culver City that can help us fund our budget. Thank you. Well, again, as I said, part of what the quality of life here is the public safety services, and so it's going to be difficult, even though what Stephen is saying merits some consideration. So what usually gets cut are things like recreation services, tree trimming, the infrastructure of potholes, those kinds of things all get pushed aside. One of the things that I'm promoting is an idea that I can't talk to in a minute called Culver City Proud, which is the idea that we have people that live here that love, like I do, Culver City, investing in Culver City instead of investing outside Culver City and using their disposable dollars to support organizations. Let's create a plan to bring people so that they're making investments in Culver City, supporting our cultural activities, supporting our recreational activities. You can go to the website and you can see I have a whole description about that. But that's basically what I would do in terms of the priorities that we're going to have to deal with. Well, Mihal says he's the business guy in the council. I'm the revenue raiser. My job in the City of Los Angeles is to go after federal, state, and foundation grants, and we need to be more aggressive about doing that here in Culver City, and I think I can help. Also, public-private partnerships. That's where government, business, nonprofits all come together. Everybody puts a little something into it to be able to get and maintain services. An example, the shuttle for Expo. We could run a shuttle that runs from the Expo to the downtown, Sony and Hayden Track for their employees, West LA College, Westfield Mall, all of those could
Blair
benefit
Hills.
from a shuttle that would be able to, if we put a little money into it, from each of them, would be able to maintain that and operate that. And the other thing that I also want to support is this idea again of private philanthropy, of us here putting money into to support the programs and activities we have here in Culver City. One way we can be more efficient, I think, with the city is to make sure that we're maximizing the revenues that we should be getting from contracts and agreements that we have with outside organizations. I also think, too, that we need to look very closely at the use of outside consultants. We just paid well, we didn't just pay, but we paid $100,000 for a parking study that's 5 years old, and maybe we could have saved some money there. I know that in the city attorney's office we have 5 city attorneys, and yet we contract out a lot for legal services, and I'd like to look at those too. So the areas where I don't know that the staffing, that we're overstaffed, again, we've been doing a lot of cuts, but the area I do want to look at is how do we maximize more revenues from the contracts that we have, and how do we look at the consulting agreements we have, and are we making best use of outside consultants or using our staff? Well, I'll tell you what I know about Blair Hills is what I read in Mim Shapiro's history about Blair Hills, which is worth reading. Anyway, you should go online and see that. I know that, too, that it was named after Blair Stone's niece, and that there were ranches up here with cowboys in the early. So you appreciate sort of the rustic nature of what Blair Hills is all about. The things that are of concern to you are the PXP development. You're also concerned about the development of the Linda Vista School and what that's going to mean with increasing with traffic and people coming here into this particular area. And I think you're also concerned, too, about you really only have one egress out of this area if there were to be a natural disaster or a wildfire, and being able to deal with that and how we can get response crews up here in a timely manner. So I'm prepared to work with you on all of those issues.